Shalom, this is Rev Yoseph coming to you from the land of Israel. This week is Parshas Bechusai, and it starts with the blessings of obedience. It says that there will be prosperity among the nation. They will be at peace, or at least more powerful than their enemies. That they will be fruitful, have many children, and that Hashem will build the temple, and that Hashem will be their God, and and Israel will be His people. It then goes on to a litany of horrors if Israel does not keep the mitzvahs. Specifically, if they do not allow religion into their heart and do not keep the mitzvahs as a practical matter. And it starts off more or less as emotional difficulties, that the people will be paranoid. They will at times be manic. They will be depressed. They will also be failures. Okay? It continues that if they are obstinate, then there will be war, pestilence, famine, wild animals. Okay? Then it says that if they are word that's used is difficult, is carry, subject of considerable discussion among the commentaries. It lends itself to the interpretation that their observance will be sporadic or shallow, or backsliding, that type of thing. And the response is that Hashem will not pay attention to their good deeds, and the horrors will get worse, that He will basically dump their dead bodies on the shrines to their fetishes and mishagasi, that type of thing. After that, it ends cryptically. The next parsha, which it ends the book of Vayikra, which are in the mitzvahs are called arichim, where a person pledges the value of his soul or the value of his life, and it gives specific amounts as to how much he is pledging. And in the case of a man between 20 and 60, the amount would be 50 shekels, 50 silver shekels. Now the Chumash later on will talk about 50 silver shekels in context of pledging your land. And it establishes or sets 50 shekels as the value of what it says is 1 homer of barley. Homer is a dry measure, about 10 bushels. So it comes out that the value of a man's life is being compared to 10 bushels of barley, in modern prices around $50. It's not a large amount according to the Chumash either. When the temple is dedicated and the heads of the tribes bring their gifts, one of them is a silver bowl that weighs 130 shekels. So a shekel being a weight. Somewhat of a barter system that you're dealing with in biblical times. And it comes out that the value of a man is a little bit more than a third of the value of this bowl. So what's happening here, and the Kli Yakar discusses it, and he says that the relationship is that when a person is in trouble, they make promises to God. And they will make promises to give charity. As a result of that, that's the reason for the placement there. He also brings the Baal HaTurim, who says that if you add up all of the values that are specified in the Chumash, in this parsha, it comes out to be 143. And if you count all of the curses, there are 143 curses. Therefore, he says that it's a hint that the curses are what causes the promise to pay, to make a donation, trying to, so to speak, appease HaKadosh Baruch Hu by being good. Says the problem is that people will often renege after they have made the pledge and things in fact go well. Okay? What you have though is the issue. What remains is the issue of the 50 shekels, and you have a story of the Baal Shem Tov, where when he wants to get married, he tells his prospective father-in-law, he hasn't met his bride yet, that he only wants the girl to be marrying him and not his Torah and his mitzvahs. Therefore, when he shows up to meet the girl, the Baal Shem Tov story, Shivkei Abesh, uses the word rekan, a simpleton. That's what he acts like. The idea is, without Torah and mitzvahs, one of the greatest of the Jewish people would only be a simpleton. Chabad talks about what is the nature of man, and they say that he is a soul clothed in a body. And the soul is considered a little spark of Hashem. The body is considered the skin of the snake. So in other words, a man has a very high soul and a very low body. And the idea is that if he turns to his body, his life really is only worth 10 bushels of barley. But if he turns to his soul, it's a case where he becomes, like in the words of the Psalm, where it's Psalm 8, he says, what is a man that you pay attention to him? That he is a little bit less than an angel, and that you have placed him among, above or in charge of, to rule over the works of God's hands, the fish of the sea, the animals of the field, the birds of the sky. So what it means is that when a person turns to Torah and mitzvahs, he is attaching himself to the name and the repute of Hashem, and it is through that he gains great value as a being. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.